All right. It looks like all systems a go. Let me just double check what's up, what's going on. My name is Aurelia Wynn. I go by Miss Wynn. And today we are going to be talking all things Amazon. Let me just make sure I get this stuff set up really quick and make sure that I get set up right. Um, how's everyone's week been going? It is Thursday, Friday Junior. My week has been going pretty good. I cannot complain. Um, I have a birthday coming up. My birthday is on May 29th. And so I am so excited. Your girl is getting up there. Okay, it looks like everything looks good. Awesome. And so if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments. If you are new here, I hope that by the end of this stream, I will have earned your like, comment, share, subscribe, or follow. Ooh, my mission with this channel really with streaming on, well, today I'm on Facebook and I'm also on YouTube. I have ditched Instagram for now. I've ditched streaming on Instagram for now, just kind of testing things out. Earlier this week, I did mention that, I feel like I'm in my YouTube girl era. Like, I just think that's where I'm at. I've tried Instagram, I've tried Facebook. Although I've learned a lot, I'm like, part of my new strategy with reaching authors and reaching readers is YouTube. And so it's my goal to tell you everything that you need to know about book publishing. And so today we're going to be covering crucial tips for Amazon KDP, including some lesser known aspects and additional options for book distribution.
Miss Wynn checking in.
That is me, Miss Wynn. So as you know, many authors are so eager to publish their book, but oftentimes they, or even you, might feel really overwhelmed by the self-publishing process. Navigating Amazon KDP can be really difficult because of its different specifications and just the different options and choices that you have to choose from. I totally get it. Without the proper guidance and direction, you might face issues with things like formatting the book, doing the cover design, as well as marketing and selling your book. Any misstep can lead to delays, poor sales, and of course, frustration. And you know what? Unlike many of the authors who I entered this industry with, I jump started straight towards the executive position. I knew that I wanted to be a full-time author. And I was going to school at the time. I was just getting ready to graduate. And I told my journalism teacher, so I have a bachelor's degree in mass communications. And I was telling my journalism teacher that, you know what, I think I want to be a full-time author. And her advice was to work for a book publisher and from there to pitch my book. So I did that in 2014. In 2014, I got my start in the book publishing world as a copy editor for an independent publisher, and I also worked for an indie author. I did that for maybe a year or two, and then I put it back down and then picked it back up in January of 2018. But this time I was coming back as a book publisher. And since then, I have made so many mistakes that have cost me both time and money. But once I learned the ropes, Amazon KDP became an invaluable tool for my publishing journey. And because book publishing is my literal business, I have no choice but to learn the ins and outs as both an author and a book publisher. And because we don't gatekeep around here, I feel inclined to tell you about what it is that I have learned. Okay, and so today I am here to share everything you need to know before you publish on Amazon KDP to make sure that you avoid some common pitfalls and to maximize your book's success. You know, many authors have found success with Amazon KDP. If you are on social media anywhere, it's not hard to find a successful author who has self-published on KDP. Even small independent publishing houses use KDP. Surprise, surprise, they do. Especially when they're just getting started. This is not uncommon. So don't count this platform out, not at least until you hear this and see for yourself. Just stick around until the end of this live stream for some exclusive resources. I'll also be sharing insights on other distribution options. So let's get right into it. Amazon KDP, one of the biggest pitfalls that I see with indie authors, with self-publishing authors, is knowing Amazon's specifications, right? How many pages does your book need to be? What about the trim size? What about the dimensions that you need for your book? Where can you find this information? Well, let me see if I can pull it up for you really quick so that way you have a good idea of where to go. Boom, there it is. Once you create your KDP account, it gives you the option to go to the Help tab. I would highly recommend that before you publish your book on Amazon KDP, that you check out their help section and get familiar with it. Authors, hear me loud and clear. We have to also be readers. There's no way around it. If this is something that you want to do full time, there's going to be so much for you to learn. There's going to be so much for you to read. So instead of resisting it, instead of fighting it, just say, hey, this is a activity that I have to engage in so that way I can have a better book publishing experience. The more you know, honestly, really, truly, the better you do. And so that's why it's important for author publishers like myself to come and drop some gems, drop some knowledge, and inform you. That way, once you get this knowledge and you see for yourself, maybe you'll pay it forward and share your experiences with others. And this is how we build and grow community in the book publishing industry. And so it's so important to familiarize yourself with the help tab. It's so important that you familiarize yourself with the help tab. Reading is going to help you so much. And this might seem like, oh, no, duh, Aurelia, I could have come to that conclusion myself. Yeah, you could have, but sometimes it takes someone saying something so simple for us to get it. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're like me, you are the oldest daughter, and you also might be kind of hard-headed and stubborn. And sometimes it takes someone else other than your mama to say something for you to get it. And so just let me be that someone else that takes it sane in order for you to get it. I will gladly be that person that helps you think in a simple way in order for you to get to where you got to go. Because one thing that I know, just even about myself and from working in this industry as creatives, we can overcomplicate things. We can overthink it, and we'll know everything from A to Z. We'll have all of this knowledge, and it will be a knowledge overload in some cases that we just don't know which way is up. And so this is the way up. If there's anything that you need to know, especially when it comes to specifications for Amazon, for formatting your book, for your book cover, if you have a question, I would highly recommend that you read that help section first. The next thing that you need to know is that Amazon does allow you to edit your content on the product page. It is called Amazon A plus content. Let me show you what I am talking about. Okay. That's okay. I don't need that. Okay, so this is one of the books that I just recently published. What I've learned about and from my mother through my personal journey as her child. This is a one of Win Publications' most recently published books. And what we did differently with this book from the other books is this Amazon A plus content. We created these images here, plug them in to give our readers more information about the visionary behind the book, author Kindle, who was the host of this anthology. We listed her previous work here. And so this is going to be so important if you're looking to organize your product pages in the future, to have previous work that your readers can check out. Did you know that I also own an online bookstore? And so when I say I'm really about supporting and servicing authors, I'm not playing around. I have to have my hand in the book publishing process, in the book selling process, and in the book writing process as an author. But I say that to say, readers love to read books by authors who have more than one book. They do not want to fall in with your only book and not know that another book is on the way. And so make sure that if you're thinking about writing, that you are prepared to write and write and write some more. If that's your goal, again, it might not be your goal. It might just be your goal to just publish one book. You always wanted to be an author and publishing one book is enough. Cool. That's cool. So then maybe it might also be okay to assume that your goal is to not reach that many readers. And if that's your goal, then you are in line with meeting your goal. However, if it is your goal to reach more readers, to make a bigger impact, to increase your income possibly, you are definitely going to want to publish more than one book. Hey, I definitely overcomplicate. Yeah, definitely overcomplicate the writing process. Yep, you are not alone with that. And so Amazon A plus content. Let me show you again. Let me show you. Right? And it's just a tab under KDP. It's under the marketing tab. And you can add this to your product page. Now, you're going to want to think about, okay, you're going to want to be strategic with this, right? You're going to want to be strategic with this. You're going to want to figure out what information do you want to put here? How do you want to create these images? I use Canva. I swear by Canva. And I can do a whole video on creating A plus content if you would like. That's a whole nother area. I will do it. So make sure that you like and subscribe, so that way you do not miss out on that. But what's going to help you with this really truly is having a brand strategy already in play. And having a brand strategy is more than just the stuff that you can see on surface. And I'm talking about the logo, the brand colors, the format, the text, those things. A brand is so much more than that. A brand also includes your mission, your vision, your core values, your long-term aspiration. It includes your target audience, all of those things. It includes your brand persona. There's so many other things. Let me pull it up for you. I have a branding checklist that is free. I will drop the links in the description at the end of this live, so that way you get that and you can start planning your brand strategy before you publish your first book, or even before you publish your next book. This is what it looks like. It's called Author Branding Checklist. MissWin.gumroad.com is where you can find it. And like I said, it will get you straight and give you some structure for creating your brand strategy. Again, I'm very well aware of the ability that authors have, the superhuman strength to overthink it. And so that's why I've created these products to help you have a starting point. No, it's not going to tell you how to do it. To me, I think authors are some of the most creative people. Your strength is in creativity. Your strength is in using your imagination. Your strength might also be in doing some research. And so these are points for you to get started to doing your research, and it helps you organize said research. So that way you can make more informed decisions when it comes to creating things like content, when it comes to publishing more books, when it comes to reaching out to maybe schools in the future, or bookstores in the future. You know what you're going to say because you've done your homework. You've established several key messages that you want to repeat when you're talking about your book, when you want to repeat when you're talking about yourself as an author. As an author, you're a whole brand. You're a whole brand if you want to be, if you position yourself to be, if you get the knowledge in order to be, then you can absolutely do that. Sky's the limit. Let me tell you, there's so many things that you can do as an author. And I know that you know this, but it's like, I can do these things as an author, but today I'm not doing them. So how can we close that gap? We can close that gap by increasing our knowledge. A lot of times, and you'll hear me say this in several videos, a lot of times our block, what's keeping us from living the life that we desire, is knowledge. So after today, let's not let knowledge stop us. Go out there and learn what you need to learn. Follow me for more. I've got you. I have so much more that I want to cover. So that was only the second thing. Okay, let's keep going. The third thing, advertising on Amazon. Advertising on really any social media platform. Plan for it. Plan for it. It is essential that you plan for it. Now, let me tell you, coming from the business side of things, right? As a book publisher, if I am not advertising my business, let me tell you what, social media is not enough, right? Social media is like the first step. The second step after getting on social media, which also includes having a website and being on at least 3 platforms where you're sharing your stuff and figuring out early on which platform has your readers and which platform you can really connect with and maintain, which you don't know unless you try it. And if you're not trying it, man, you're increasing the distance between you and your reader the more and more that you're not trying it. But you can start today. But my point that I was getting to is advertising. Set aside a few dollars for advertising. Learn about how to advertise on these social media platforms and reach your readers. Even if you're an author who is working with a publisher, you still can advertise your book. If you're someone who already has a business, you're an entrepreneur, and you're like, okay, well, how much should I set aside for advertisement? It would be about 7%. 7% is, and even then, that's kind of high. The industry standard right now for advertising when it comes to books is 2 or 3%. But those people who are only doing 2 or 3%, and I'm talking about of their revenue, of their sales, they at least make $1 million in revenue. And so 1% of $1 million, you do the math. So they have a large amount of money to spend on advertising, but what they are doing is they are spending on advertising. Even big companies know you have to set aside dollars to advertise your book. There's no real way around it. Yes, there have been stories of other authors making it from just straight organic traffic, and you can do that, you can try that, but I would just suggest having some money to set aside for advertising. $6, $7, try it out. One thing about any industry that you get into, even if this is just your hobby, you are going to have to invest if you want to see some motion. You are going to have to invest. And I'm not even just talking about just money. Yes, you're going to have to invest some cash in order to increase your cash flow. You follow me? As an author, you're going to have to invest some cash in order to get that back, but also time. A lot of authors will work with me at Win Publications because they do not have time for the process. They're focused on their marketing strategy. They're focused on learning what other skills they need to learn in order to be successful. And so that's something that you might also want to think about is, what other skills do I need to learn in order to be successful? And I would say advertising is one. Maybe you learn about how to advertise before you start putting money behind it. Well, at least come up with a plan, right? Come up with a plan. Sit down and come up with a plan and say, okay, next quarter, starting in June or even starting in October, whenever you feel, pick a date. Pick a date for when you are going to start advertising your book. And then before that date, make sure that you learn about advertising on Facebook, learn about advertising on Amazon, learn about it, and then make that leap and do it and see what happens. You never know until you try it. Okay. So, number 4, the fourth thing that you need to know about Amazon is Amazon Author Central accounts. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up for you. And again, these are not some like profound discoveries. These things have been out there, but if we do not do it when we come across the information, a lot of times it will not get done. So let this be a reminder, or even let this be an introduction to Amazon Author Central. Let me show it to you. So this is what it looks like, Amazon Author Central, okay? And exactly, get acquainted with it. What I love about Amazon Author Central is it is a good tool for me to connect with my readers. Just recently, and maybe I'll even sign into my account so that way I can show you. Just recently, they made an update to Author Amazon Central, and now you can see how many followers you have. And so I thought that's cool. And also, I will show you. Let me show you the behind the scene page of Amazon Author Central. So this is also connected to your book, right? So if you were to first let me show you this and then we'll go back. We'll go back there. So this is what mine looks like when I log in. It shows me all of my books. So far, I've published 13 books since 2018. I mostly publish material for indie authors, but it lets me see all of my books. It lets me see my sales ranks, my customer reviews, all of that juicy goodness in one place. It also lets you add your author bio, so that way your bio will show up on your product page, on the page of where your book is. Let me show you. Boom. So this is where I can see all of my books, and this is also where you can see like my full bio, all of those things. Let's click on one. Okay. So this is a book that I published. When did I publish this? 2020. In the beginning, I'm actually working on the next part of this book really, really soon. And so what you will notice is this here, right? About follow the author. It already says I'm following. So you can click on that and this is where it will take you. We just left this page. And so it has all of my books that I've written and published. And so get this set up. Get this set up. Maybe make this something that you can do this weekend, especially if you're an author with published books. It shouldn't take you too long at all, especially if you already have your bio written, if you already have a headshot, or if you don't have one, take a quick selfie, post it up there, and get that done. Why wouldn't you? This is the thing for me. If you're gonna be on a platform, use everything that they have to offer. Get familiar with the platform. Use everything that they have to offer. So get your Amazon Author Central account set up. Okay, we already talked about the Amazon A+ content creation. So if you're just coming in, make sure that you watch the replay. The Amazon A+ content is where you can edit your product page. And so that's key. And then the next thing, Amazon customer support. Let me tell you something. If you run into trouble with formatting your book, if Amazon sends you an error message telling you something is off, the spine is wrong, the margins are wrong, blah, blah, blah. If it's not clear, if you're just having trouble fixing it, get them on the line. Get them on the line. Contact them or have them contact you, really. And they will tell you exactly what the problem is. Save yourself some time and some money, okay? And if for whatever reason, let's say they tell you, you have to do X, Y, and Z, and you just don't know how to do it, that's when you call the professionals in to help you figure it out. But see if you can do it yourself, especially if money is a little funny and things are a little tight. Absolutely get them on the phone, see if they can help you. If you just still can't figure it out after talking to them, then call in some help. Speaking of calling in help, I want to take a quick minute to shout out Win Publications. This episode is brought to you by me, Aurelia Wynn, at Win Publications. Win Publications is a hybrid publisher that supports goal-driven authors. If you like what you have seen so far, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. What do you think about that? That was pretty cool, huh? I'm telling you, I said I'm in my YouTube girl era. I'm in my video making era, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've been having so much fun with this. And so let's see. Okay, the next thing is just some frequently asked questions that I get about KDP. Again, we already covered the formatting issues. I said it earlier on, get familiar with these platforms that you want to publish on. Do a little reading. Take a weekend. Take a weekend to read. As an author, you better like reading. You have to like reading. Okay, you don't have to, but it's something that you should not resist. It's something that you should not resist when it comes to being an indie author, and especially if this is an area of your life that you want to see expand and grow. If you have dreams of seeing your book as a movie, you need to read. You need to read. You've got to read. You've got to read. You got to read. You got to be in the know, because, man, let me tell you, what you don't know is hurting you. What you don't know is hurting you. So help yourself and read and get in the know. All right. So the thing about it is royalties. Royalties. Okay, let's talk about royalties really quick. So Amazon has two royalty offerings. There's one where I believe they'll take 40%, and then there's another where they take like 60%. So the 40% one is just for distributing on their platform, and then the 60% one is distributing on other platforms. So they call it expanded distribution. If you've ever been on Amazon and you have wondered how like some other random company that you didn't even know existed got your book, chances are you might have clicked that box for expanded distribution. And not only is Amazon keeping 60% of the profit from your book, but your book is also being made to be able to be sold in other places. I hope I said that in a way that makes sense. And so if you're not about that life, and I've seen that, I've heard that in some of these Facebook groups I'm in, where authors are like, oh my God, my book is being sold somewhere. How did this person get my book? Am I getting paid for this? I'm not getting paid for this. Actually, you might be getting paid for it. If they are selling a book, there's no way, unless you just published your book online before it was ready or something. It takes a lot of effort to steal somebody's work. Also, books are meant to be bought and resold. And so that's why it's so important to be in the know about these things, because sometimes not being in the know, we create unnecessary fears and unnecessary stress and experiences for ourselves that in themselves can become a block to keep us from moving forward, to keep us from enjoying and having a good time when it comes to publishing books. When that is actually not the case, that you maybe have been misinformed about something, and so you just have to, cover your bases, be in the know. Okay, and so that's it about the royalty. So the pricing of your books. When it comes to pricing, how do I price the books at Win Publications? I compare. I look at what other books are out there. I do the same thing when it comes to checking off on book cover design. I'm going to do my research and my homework to make sure that the cover that myself and the author decide to go with, that it looks like it fits in that genre, that it looks like it belongs in that category, and also that it's professional and is oozing excellence, right? In oozing hybrid publisher Win Publications that we are. And so I compare other prices. I compare the number of pages when it comes after the book has been formatted, and I see, okay, this book has 355 pages. This book is in the thriller genre. This book is being published by a new author. So, okay, so that also plays a role. This book these are the keywords that we would include for this book. So let me look up other books by this keyword and see. And from there, it's like, okay, what's the highest? What's the lowest? What's the average? Do a little math, whoop de wop, and it's okay, boom. From there, we decide if we want to go higher or lower. We also take into consideration print costs. We also take into consideration Amazon's cost. And so after taking in consideration all of those things, we make a decision and go with it. And then after we do that, we say, okay, well, my authors want to know, okay, Aurelia, I spent this amount of money with you. How can I make that back and then some? And then that's where things really get good. We can create a sales strategy and move from there. And so that's how you want to work that. ISBN numbers. ISBN numbers. Aurelia, do I need to purchase one? Again, it's going to be about what are your future goals? What are your long-term goals? And it's also going to be about your budget, right? Some people are so weird when it comes to talking about money. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Purchasing ISBNs on Bowkers, if you're in the United States, it's Bowkers. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. There's a website that you go to. I know in other countries, ISBNs are free, and so that's good for them. But here in America, you have to go to, let me show you. Boom, there it is. Bowkers. And so it's under myidentifiers.com is the website. And this is what it looks like. And so you can go there. Let me see. I don't want it to show my personal information. Okay, buy ISBNs. There it is. So this is how much they cost, right? $295 for 10, $125 for 1, $575 for 100, and then $1,500 for 1,000, right? And so earlier we talked about, okay, you might want to publish more than one book. Okay, if that's your goal, if your goal is to reach more readers and to build a fan base, I just feel like there's no other way around it. I mean, I don't know, but I also don't want to be negative. And so I'm just going to say, if you are looking to reach more readers, you're going to want to publish more books. I have yet to meet an author who is a full-time author that has only published one book. And so I just have not seen that yet. Maybe that's you and you're the exception to the rule. And so what I'm saying is you're going to want to get more than one ISBN, right? So maybe this 10 ISBN thing, okay, maybe you might want to opt for that package. Do that. Or okay, let's talk about the money thing. If that's just not economical right now, go with the free one. Or work with a hybrid publisher like Win Publications, where part of the publishing package is the ISBN. Yes, it's registered to Win Publications. Yes, that does give us the right to put our logo on your book, and we would want to. And it just, that's the kind of relationship that we have with our authors. It's a win-win situation for everyone that meets at the table. And so we do provide ISBNs for our authors, for those who self-publish, as well as those who are more on we call them our A team, our A team and our B team. Our A team are those who we go so hard for. There are hybrid publishers, the authors who we have vetted, the authors who prove themselves, and the authors who our goals are aligned with. And we're very picky. Just because you try out for the team does not mean you will make it, but we will self-publish with all authors. Our goal is to make your dreams come true. If you have a dream and you have a goal of publishing your book, get in touch with me and let's talk. And so that was another little plug in there for that. Okay, so now distribution options beyond KDP, and this can also be a whole nother video, and so I'll try to keep it short. There's other options out there. There's Ingram Sparks, there's Lulu, there's Draft to Digital. Barnes & Noble also has their own platform. Which ones do I use? I use KDP and I use Ingram Spark right now as a small indie publisher. I have goals though. Okay, I have goals of what you need in order to work with a full distributor, not just KDP and Ingram Sparks. In order to work with a full distributor, you have to have sold, I believe it's $150,000 worth of books. $150,000 worth of books in order to work with the full service distributor. And that gets your books into things like airports, gift shops. If you want to be inside Walmart, if you want to be inside Target, those are the kind of numbers that you need to be bringing in with your book sales. And so do you see why is it now making sense? Do you see why I'm saying you need to publish more than one book? If you're really trying to do the thing and you're really trying to reach more readers and have a big impact and use your influence, not only in order to, increase your income, that's a byproduct of it. But when you increase your impact on the world and you increase your influence, your whole world changes. It changes you. There's no doubt about it. It gives you more options to do more things. And so these goals are not just vanity. I mean, it is what you make it, to be quite frank. It is what you make it. But you have to start somewhere. And so if you have to get the free ISBNs, each of those platforms that I just said have free ISBNs. And maybe that's where you start in your career. You start with the free ISBN. You make a little bit more money, then you might want to work with a hybrid publisher. Boom, now you're using their ISBN. Okay, now you're learning how to run ads, and so you're putting some money into advertising your book, and that starts generating more income, and you're publishing books, and now you have a set strategy. You see how things can really get going. It can really get going like that for you. But you have to start. You absolutely have to start, and increasing your knowledge is a good place to start and a good place to be in. And so I work with KDP and Ingram Sparks. I work with them both, although Ingram Spark, if you were just going to go with one platform, Ingram Spark would be the one. The reason why I have Amazon, KDP, and Ingram is because Amazon is faster. Amazon is faster than KDP. And when my clients are like, Aurelia, I want to publish my books in 3 weeks. Can we make it happen? It's already edited. Yeah, we can make it happen. Oh, I also have the cover. Oh yeah, if they already have the cover too, the book will be out in 3 weeks. Okay, all you gotta do is make sure that the check clears. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, Amazon is faster than Ingram Spark. And so keep that in mind. Do your research, absolutely trust, but also verify. I wholeheartedly believe in moving that way when it comes to making decisions, especially when you're investing time and money. Get some advice, but also verify, get to know it for yourself, right? And then number 8, working with publishers. Let's say you've listened to all of that and you're just like worn out. None of that sounds like anything you want to do. That's okay. This is what I do. This is what I do. And this is what I love and truly enjoy. I tell my authors all the time, look, this is it for me. This is it for me. I am committed. I am committed to at least 30 years in the book publishing industry. I've already knocked out 10. I have at least another 20 to go. This is it for me. And so maybe today you're not ready to work with a publisher. Maybe you still, want to increase your knowledge and learn all it is that you need to learn before making that commitment to publishing another book or publishing your first book with a publisher, or even by yourself, self-publishing. That's cool. But if down the road, if you're looking for a publisher, I am here and I would love to. Okay, so that's it. We've reached the end. I hope that you have found this to be valuable and helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up and share it with other aspiring authors. Help me reach more authors and just create this community here where we are knowledgeable, where we're making educated decisions, where we're meeting our goals as authors and we're reaching our readers, and we know the business of book publishing. We're not only writers, but we're also We're also business people too. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? And we can end on that note that as an author, you do have the opportunity to become an entrepreneur if you want to, if you lean into it. If you want to take this thing from just being a hobby to being a full-time job, woo, stick with me. Stick with me. I have so much more to talk about. All right. That's it for today. I will see you in another video. Actually, I'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. same time, same place. I'll see you then. Bye.